In every major religion and mythology, there is a figure who represents rebellion, pride, and deception. In Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, that figure is often known as Satan. But who really is Satan? Is he merely a symbol of evil, or is he a fallen angel who once walked among the most glorious beings in heaven? This episode will take you on a journey, one that begins in the highest realms of heaven and descends into the depths of earth. We'll explore the origins of Satan, the war that broke out in heaven, his fall, the Watchers, and how all of this ties into our understanding of spiritual warfare today. And don't worry, this isn't meant to scare you. As children of God, we are not called to fear darkness but to expose it with truth and light. Let's begin. Chapter 2. The brightest angel, Lucifer. Before the fall, before he became known as Satan, the being was called Lucifer, a name that means lightbringer or morning star. According to Christian tradition, Lucifer was a powerful archangel created by God. Described in the book of Ezekiel 28, widely interpreted to refer to him, he was adorned with beauty, wisdom, and musical perfection. He wasn't just any angel, he was possibly the chief worship leader of heaven, responsible for leading other angels in praise and adoration of the Creator. Isaiah 14 verse 12 says, "How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning." This verse gives us a clue about his former glory and tragic fall. But what caused this fall? Chapter 3, Pride and Rebellion, the spark of war in heaven. Lucifer's fall wasn't because of weakness, but because of pride. He looked upon his beauty and began to desire the throne of God himself. He wanted to ascend above the stars, to be like the Most High, Isaiah 14 verses 13 to 14. This pride led to rebellion. According to Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9, there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But they were not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. Lucifer, now referred to as the dragon or Satan, led a third of the angels in revolt against God. But the archangel Michael, a warrior of God, rose with the loyal angels and cast Satan and his followers out of heaven. This cosmic war wasn't just about rebellion. It was about authority, identity, and light versus darkness. And it marked the beginning of Satan's role on earth. Chapter 4, the fall to earth, from glory to darkness, once cast down from heaven. Lucifer was no longer called the morning star. He became known as Satan, meaning the adversary. His primary mission, to oppose the will of God and to deceive humanity. Jesus himself said in Luke 10 verse 18, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." But Satan didn't fall alone. He brought with him a third of the angels, now referred to as fallen angels or demons. These beings, once radiant and loyal, now serve as instruments of chaos, and thus began Satan's influence on earth. He appears in the Garden of Eden as a serpent, tempting Eve. He shows up in Job's life, trying to prove that no human can remain faithful to God without blessings. He even tries to tempt Jesus in the wilderness. Satan is described as the father of lies and the accuser of the brethren. But that's not where the story ends. Chapter 5, the Watchers, the fallen who descended to earth. Now we turn to a mysterious group known as the Watchers, mentioned in ancient texts like the Book of Enoch, a non-canonical but widely referenced book in early Jewish tradition. The Watchers were a group of angels assigned to observe humanity. But many of them, led by a chief named Semjaza, began to lust after human women. They descended to earth, took wives, and taught humanity forbidden knowledge like warcraft, enchantments, astrology, and cosmetics. Their offspring? The Nephilim, giants and warriors of great renown, as referenced in Genesis 6 verse 4, this union between fallen angels and humans created chaos on earth. According to tradition, it contributed to the corruption that led to the Great Flood in Noah's time. God eventually judged the Watchers, binding many of them in a prison called Tartarus, 2 Peter 2 verse 4, Jude 1 verse 6, where they await final judgment. Their actions, however, had lasting spiritual consequences. Chapter 6, the role of Satan today. Satan's role did not end with the early chapters of Genesis. He continues to operate in the world today, but with limits set by God. The New Testament portrays Satan as the tempter, Matthew 4, the accuser, Revelation 12 verse 10, The god of this world who blinds minds, 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4, the roaring lion seeking whom he may devour, 1 Peter 5 verse 8, but here's the powerful truth, Satan is not God's equal. He is a created being limited in power, knowledge, and presence. He cannot be everywhere at once. He is not all-knowing. He is not divine. And most importantly, he is defeated when Jesus died on the cross and rose again. He disarmed the powers and authorities, triumphing over them, Colossians 2 verse 15. Satan's final destiny is the lake of fire, Revelation 20 verse 10, a place of eternal separation from God. Chapter 7, Why this story matters. Why should we care about the story of Satan? Because it teaches us about choices, about the dangers of pride, and about the importance of humility and obedience. It reminds us that even the brightest among angels can fall when their heart turns away from God. It also reminds us that God is sovereign, and no amount of rebellion can overturn His will. The war in heaven may have been fierce, but God's side always wins. And that same victory is offered to us, OUTRO, the final light. So now you know the story, from heaven's glory to earth's rebellion. From Lucifer the light-bearer to Satan the adversary. From the watchers and their forbidden knowledge to the coming judgment. But don't let the darkness scare you. As a child of God, you are on the winning side. Jesus said, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Luke 10 verse 19. So walk in that victory. Stay aware, stay grounded in the truth, and remember, darkness cannot overcome the light. Thank you for watching. If you found this story fascinating, please like, share, and subscribe for more spiritual insights and epic biblical stories. God bless you, and stay in the light.